Hey everyone, it's Flak. Big changes have come to the Battlefield 1 community test environment, and if they're well received, well, we might see them in next month's update to Battlefield 1. I've had a look at the patch notes, and there is some really exciting stuff here. Before I dive into it, please remember that these changes are only live on the CTE and not in vanilla Battlefield 1. So, first up, Bayonet's got a big tweak in this new patch. DICE reduced the maximum turn rate while charging and also removed the damage reduction during the bayonet charge. This means players will take normal damage. DICE also boosted the volume of the enemy yell and footsteps during a bayonet charge. Now, I love the bayonet charge more than most people in Battlefield 1, so much so I made an entire video of me bayoneting other YouTubers at the They Shall Not Pass capture event, but I agree it did need a bit of a nerf. It's important to note the sprint distance doesn't seem impacted in the latest patch, so the mechanic can still be used to move quickly from cover to cover. Another big change comes in the form of making stationary weapons like anti-tank guns and anti-aircraft guns indestructible. Now, before you flip a table, the weapons can be disabled. Once the stationary weapon's health drops below 50%, it becomes unusable, and it must then be repaired with a repair tool. The same amount of damage that would have previously destroyed the gun will now instead disable it. Personally, I think this is a great change because it provides troops on the ground with more opportunity to defend against vehicles like tanks and airplanes, increasing the skill required to use those vehicles, and also increasing the relevance of the support class. The support class desperately needed this additional role, and the new patch also automatically shows support players who is low on ammunition, so that is welcome as well. I was actually quite happy with the AA buff in the spring update, but with the change to stationary weapons, I'd say DICE could actually roll it back a little, especially since ground troops can no longer be left completely defenseless. Speaking of airplanes, DICE gave a bit more personality to the types of aircraft in the latest patch on the CTE. The Dogfighter fighter plane variant has a new secondary weapon in incendiary ammunition. This does greatly increase damage to plane parts, allowing the Dogfighter to quickly cripple an enemy plane by breaking a wing. Its active ability was also changed from quick repair to speed boost. Again, I think this is a great change since it brings the Dogfighter in line with its namesake. Previously, I never really felt a clear distinction between the fighters and attack planes in Battlefield 1. Honestly, there seemed almost no reason to choose a fighter over an attack plane loaded with bombs and still able to down other aircraft with machine guns. The airship buster of the attack plane variant also got a buff to its machine guns and maneuverability, putting it more in line with its anti-aircraft role. Meanwhile, DICE made some tweaks to tanks on the Battlefield 1 CTE. Changes include reducing the health gain from a self-repair cycle from 320 to 200, but decreasing the time it takes to complete a self-repair cycle from 8 seconds to 5 seconds. This change brings the A7V, FT-17, Saint-Chamond, and artillery truck in line with the current Mark V landship. The FT in particular saw a number of other changes. The close support class's 37mm high-explosive ammo cap was increased to 5, and the secondary case shell was replaced with a coaxial LMG, helping the tank better fulfill its general-purpose role. The reload on the flanker tank variant's autocannon was increased from 2.5 seconds to 3.75 seconds, but the high-explosive autocannon direct damage was buffed slightly to between 12.5 and 17.5 damage. DICE reports this results in a 20% reduction in cannon uptime, but makes the flanker more effective against armor and slightly less effective against infantry. Overall, I think all these changes are excellent moves on the part of the developers. They reduce the slightly cartoony nature of the bayonet charge, increase the role of the support class, raise the skill requirement for vehicles, and make vehicle variants more distinct. And in my opinion, those are all things that Battlefield 1 really needed improvement on. Now, there are a number of other small changes in the update I didn't mention, so for the complete patch notes, you can check the description below. Again, these changes are only for the community test environment, but they will likely be included in the next update for Battlefield 1 pending community feedback. So be sure to tell DICE your thoughts over on the Battlefield CTE Reddit. I'm also curious about your thoughts on these kinds of changes, so do tell me what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share our websites like Facebook and Twitter, and of course, subscribe. To take your Battlefield 1 game to the next level, check out the Battlefield 1 Ultimate Utility app with a link in the video description. And as always, thanks for watching.